Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. Today I'm going to review the knockoff version of Sixshot, who is himself Hexatron. So this is not Hexatron. Hexatron is a good quality transformer, or sorry, not transformer, a good quality robot. This is another guy whose name actually escapes me. I did try looking it up before I did the review, and you know what? I couldn't find it. Don't worry, I'll post it in the description below as to who it is. But basically, this is Sixshot, or rather Black Shadow, so a black version of Sixshot. It's made by a company known as Leqiqu. The main thing it has on the artwork is it talks a lot about transformation. It has some pretty good images, black and white admittedly, of the different poses you can get for Sixshot, and then you've got some pretty cool images on the back as well. Enjoy these images, because that's as close as you're going to get to them. The actual product itself, well, when I normally review Transformers or third-party robots, I usually like to talk a bit about the transformation process. I talk a bit about what I think about the toy. I would also talk a little bit about how good it looks, or in some cases doesn't, whether it's a unique mould, whether it's been cloned from another mould, and that side of stuff. Very rarely do I get to talk about how rubbish they are. This is one of those times. It's terrible. Thank God it wasn't a lot of money. It's about, I think it was 15, 20 quid, something like that. We included shipping from China to the UK, so that's a pretty good price, and that's one of the attractions to it. Also is the fact that it was a really impressive looking figure. And to be fair, it is an impressive looking figure. It's just terribly made, and it just doesn't work. As in, it doesn't actually, the pieces don't slot together, and it does not transform at all. And that is what really disappoints me with this. So, that is meant to be how the plane looks. So you've got the guns in there, you've got the blades which slide underneath there, everything slots together nicely, and it's a really good looking picture. Reality is you get this. Okay, so gun slot in there. You can move these up, if you so wish, but this does not slot together. Now, if you do slot it together, which you can do, other bits pop out. This does not go down. It's not done. There's not enough physical room to move this down. And as for attaching the gun, the blades, so you've got the hole there to attach them into. There we go. You've got a sticky out bit there and a sticky out bit that side. Neither will fit in to the hole. It's too. The actual blade is either the hole's too small or these are too large. They will not go in. It's really poor. There is no way. Now, I'm not making this up. This will not go in. This is a sheared off piece of plastic. In particular, this sheared off piece of plastic here. There we go. Sheared off. How did that shear off? Was it because I was transforming it? No. It was touched by this. And the whole thing just went snap. I mean, that's not a stress snap. That's just a poor piece of crap that's just sheared off. It's really, really disappointing. And that is the biggest flaw with this. It's not finished. It's not put together. You know, I'm not even going to attempt to put him into his other modes, because I started to put it into the tank mode. So the tank mode, which again looks brilliant here, it doesn't flip over. The thing does not flip over. Why doesn't it flip over? Because there's no bloody room for it to flip over. You start to move it, and because the legs don't part wide enough, which is why you get this not straight here, so this is all up at an angle, you can't actually turn the thing over. Look how loose this is. I just picked it up and that went flying down like that. It's dreadful, and it's such a shame. It could be a fantastic piece of kit. Hexatron is. Even the Titan's Return version of Sixshot is better than this. The original Sixshot is better than this. This is utter rubbish. Unfortunately, it's still quite stylish, isn't it? That's what attracted me to it. It's the fact that, okay, price aside, it looked fantastic, and in many ways it still does. It's just rubbish. Let's transform him into robot mode. The thing you notice with these guns, every time you do something with them, so you transform them, you paint that, you start to get little shavings of them coming off. I've yet to spot where these shavings exactly are coming from, because it still seems to all be quite nice and shiny, but they are flaking off, so it's not very good quality paint. Just to cap it all off. Anyway, let's try and put him back into warrior mode. The instructions, unfortunately, aren't terribly helpful. So they tell you how to put him into a base mode, and then it tells you to transform into a warrior into a wolf, or a warrior into an APC, or a warrior into a laser gun, or a warrior into a tank, or a warrior into a plane. Nowhere does it tell you how to do the reverse instructions. Or what if you actually got him in tank mode and you wanted to transform him into a plane? You don't actually have those instructions. It's all from warrior mode. Okay, so start off. Let's just pop these up like that. We're then going to these drip down like this to get out that way there. So the head part of Sixshot is in here. These are his legs and these are his arms. So let's start with the arms. Pop these up like that. Pop them around like that. It feels really light and really cheap plastic, which is precisely what it is, of course. This pops up like here, like so, with the hands contained in here, which then rotate out. Hands are non-posable, they are just a grip. To be honest, that's okay, I don't really have a problem with that. It's just one of the things that they are. Same deal here. Put that there, and then the hand should pop out here. What they will do is this one's a little bit tougher to get out. This one's a lot tougher to get out. We'll get it out though. So we've done that side, so now we'll do this side. So you just pop this up and then you pop out the hand and that side. Okay, so then what we now just do is wheel to the side like that, really loose, and then the hand rotates. Open these up like that. This bit just slides down here and rotate up the head. That goes back in there. Across like that. Now we come to the legs. Unhinge that. Just pop this up so it's out of the way at the moment. And then you just want to rotate this up, rotate that up. So the actual leg is buried inside here. So this pops up like that. We'll do this leg first, I think. Having popped all these bits out here, you've now got a clear, you can't really see, but there's like a clear space here for you to be able to just tug this down. It goes around like that. This goes all the way down here, all the way round, and then this at the back here is the foot that goes in, goes out, and there you have the foot. This rotates round here, so you can see there's a turn there, takes round, and that is the front of the leg. So, same on this side, pop that up. You want to make sure that you've got here this up. Having done that, that's out the way there too. Rotates round, 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 goes back in, goes up like that. This bit here goes in there, and then you've got another panel here, comes out to produce the foot. Rotate your leg round until you have feet there. Yeah, these stay up. Okay, we're pretty much there. What we now just need to do with these rear parts here, they just go up like so, and they kind of go out a bit like that. Sixshot. He's a pretty big transformer, or robot I should say. Looks pretty good. Actually, to be perfectly honest, he looks excellent, which is what suckered me into buying it. But yeah, he looks excellent. It's just terrible, terrible build. So he can hold these blades here, the swords, the absolutely huge swords. They do kind of go in. It's not the greatest of fits in there, it has to be said, but it will go in there. There we are. In theory, he's meant to be able to store them at the back as well, but because these are too small, these won't fit in, so he has to hold them or not at all. However, his guns do fit, so he can store his guns at the back, but not the swords. Unfortunately, they won't go in. Let's see, where else could you put them? There's plenty of holes up here. Will they go in here? Of course not. He's hold his sword, or he leaves it on the floor. There are no other options. See, this wheel keeps popping out because it's very loose. These parts here are forever falling off as well. So if a part goes flinging off, it's usually that part. Let's just give him his other sword. Just like slot it in, and you have to rotate it around. It will fit in there, and when it's in there, it's quite solid, but it's quite difficult to fit in. See, the back keeps on flipping out because it's a load of rubbish. Never mind. It's a load of... The whole toy it's so loose, it's so poorly put together. If you're going to have it, your best bet is to have him transform in robot mode, because it looks great in robot mode, and leave it. Don't move it. Just leave it. It's just so poorly put together. Size-wise, well, he actually, I say he's a big transformer. He compares very well. I am going to just move us back a little bit here, so you might get some gubbins in the shot. There is a reason for this madness, and it will come in a second. So, Titan's Return, although this is actually the Legends version of Ultra Magnus, he scales pretty well to it, it has to be said. The guy's Sixshot's taller than Magnus, but actually works very well. However, the true scaling is Carnifex from Mastermind Creations. Now, he scales well against Carnifex as well. Carnifex, of course, is bigger, but Carnifex is one of the ultimate warriors. He's meant to be. So you'd expect him to be bigger, but actually he scales very, very nicely against Carnifex. Again, you would expect Carnifex to be the bigger guy, but Sixshot doesn't look overpowered there. Admittedly, it helps the fact that they've both got humongous swords, Sixshot in particular. But yeah, they compare very well. As does Power Master Prime, is actually Legend Super Ginrei. But again, he looks a little bit small in comparison, it has to be said, but he looks a bit smaller compared to Magnus, even though his actual head height is a bit bigger than Magnus. But you get the idea. So Sixshot compares very well against they're not really Masterpiece Transformers. Carnifex is probably the closest to a Masterpiece Transformer, and he's not. Well, neither is he Masterpiece nor a Transformer, technically. He's a robot. But against the official Titan's Return characters, Sixshot goes very, very well with them. His head height isn't that much taller than them, because he's got so much gubbins going on behind him when it stays upright, and the weapons are so huge as well, it gives him that overall height advantage. But he compares well with Carnifex as well, Overlord, to you and me. Though, of course, Carnifex Overlord is a far, far superior toy in every single regard. So yeah, my thoughts on this version of Sixshot. It is utter rubbish. Utter trash. It really is. It looks very sleek. It looks fantastic. It really does look fantastic. But don't try and transform it. It will just fall apart. It's very poorly made. It's very, very loose. bits of it will snap off, bits of it won't actually transform because of the fact it's not been properly made. If you are going to buy it, and let's face it, it doesn't cost a lot of money, so it is quite an attractive price, keep him in robot mode. Your best bet is to pose him in robot mode and leave him in that pose. The more you move it, the more bits will fall off, and the more flakes will come off those guns, because the paint flakes off really, really easily. The swords I am particularly impressed with, because they do look the business. And actually the head works quite well too. We'll just zoom in on that. So it really does look the business. It's just let down so badly by quality control, or a distinct lack of quality control. You know, if it were the same quality as Optimus Prime here, or Ultra Magnus, that would be, you know, I would be really, really impressed with that. I wouldn't expect it to be the same quality as Overlord, as Overlord was an expensive toy. And let's face it, Magnus and Prime weren't cheap, but Overlord was a really expensive toy, but it's not. And I guess it just goes to show you get what you pay for. Some knockoff Transformers, such as Coronation Starscream by, I think it was KBO, are really good. That was a really good toy. That was actually slightly better, I think, than the Mastermind Creations. Not Mastermind Creations, I meant to say than the Masterpiece toy. That was actually a really, really good toy, but this one by, what do I call it, Leqiqu is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, if you want to get it because you like Sixshot, or you're attracted to how the toy looks, or you're attracted to the price, be warned, you can only really use it in Sixshot robot mode. Do not attempt to transform it, because it will not transform and it will break apart, and it's just not worth your money. I think, based on this, had I known what I know now, I would have I'd either saved up and bought Hexatron, or more likely I would have bought the Titan's Return version of Sixshot, which looks pretty decent, it has to be said. Not as good as Hexatron, but I think I would rather have gone for one of those two rather than spend my money on this. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave any comments below, click and subscribe and watch some other videos, and I will see you for the next review. Thank you. Goodbye.